Well, somebody who has really risen to prominence in Blackpool is Scott Benton, because, Scott, you became the Member of Parliament for Blackpool South in 2019, a seat Labour had held going way back into the mid-1990s. How's it going?
Good. Well, to be honest, Nigel, I've had better weeks.
Really?
Obviously, the government are in a difficult place at the moment. Everybody knows that. But as a local Member of Parliament, I'm thoroughly enjoying the job. Got a number of things I want to do in Parliament, some of which we'll probably come on to. Overall, Partygate aside, I think the government are doing a fairly good job. But we do need to up our game on the cost of living, helping families with that, on small boats, where the government's record is not good enough at all, and on other things as well. But to be fair, we have had the pandemic and we've supported businesses, people on furlough scheme, all of those things as well. But we need to do far more if we're going to continue to have the trust of the British people and people in this room, some of whom may have even voted for me at the last general election.
Well, I'm sure some of them did. And, you know, they wanted to get Brexit over the line. Many traditional Labour people looked at Corbyn and thought this guy isn't patriotic, doesn't believe in the country and in the way that old Labour did, and all of those things. But levelling up. You know, we saw Michael Gove presenting his levelling up ideas for places like Blackpool yesterday. I mean, frankly, to me, it was more like a child's wish list to Father Christmas. This is what we hoped might happen. But here we are. We have a gas reserve, a natural gas reserve under our feet. And I know the good people of Blackpool have been bombarded with propaganda to tell them it'll cause earthquakes and goodness knows what else. And yet you can look across the rest of the world where natural gas is extracted very safely. Are you, as a local Member of Parliament, in favour of developing the gas industry here?
Well, every day I go knocking on doors when I'm in Blackpool, Nigel, and one of the top things people talk to me about is the cost of living. We have a ridiculous situation at the moment where the government are actually contributing to those rising costs. Two things. One's the VAT on energy bills, which I think we need to
was
scrap.
a Brexit promise.
Absolutely.
All of us that can. So why don't they get rid of it?
That needs to be removed. I said that in House of Commons. We need to scrap that 5%. The other thing we need to do...
Well, you need to be tougher, don't you, Scott?
I'll continue banging on that door, Nigel. Don't you worry. I will not let the people in this room down. The second thing are those green levies. So 20% of the cost on people's fuel bills is so-called green levies. And what do these do? Well, £1 billion of that is propping up a wood chip burner in Yorkshire.
Scott,
and
I agree.
That doesn't sound very friendly to me.
I agree with all of that. But I did ask you a question about whether, as the local MP, you support the development. And by the way, if the gas industry was developed here, you know, we're talking about reserves of gas here that are worth hundreds of billions of pounds. We are talking in Blackpool and the North West about thousands, maybe tens of thousands, of very well-paid jobs. To me, that really would be levelling up for the North West.
I couldn't agree more, Nigel. My position on fracking is clear. If it's safe and it doesn't have any adverse effects on the local area, we need to go down this road, because we cannot continue relying on foreign energy sources. I mean, for goodness sake, we've got Russia on the border with Ukraine, and yet we're in
all right, I take that.
Russia for their gas. So we need our own supplies, not only the North Sea, but fracking needs to be looked at again. The only thing I would say about the local situation in Blackpool, we had a site 4 miles down the road, and there were a number of earthquakes, and that particular site is probably not available.
They drilled into
fracking.
a fault. It was